The utilities continue discussing concerning the smart grid system. Any questions at this particular moment on the?
Let me ask you something. We mentioned, or you all mentioned the other night, the adjustment in the budget of $157,000 where you were paying off some purchase vehicles.
Right, yes, sir, in the FY14
Now,
budget.
What vehicles were those? Because how long is that lease when we buy, rent, lease to buy?
The ones, the Crimson fire truck, we've got one on the Pierce fire truck, we've got one on the Crimson fire truck. We have 2 loans for police cars. We have 4 on one loan and 4 on another loan. And what we did the other night was on June 15th of this month, we'll pay off the 2 police car loans and the 1 fire truck.
Now that is a normal process, right? I mean, those, the way they were set up when they were bought, this is a normal paying them off, right?
We're speeding it up by a year. Actually, the police loans went. One of them went till, and I don't have my numbers in front of me, but it's sometimes in 2015, and one was going to be like the first month in 2016. So
right. Well, now those cars were what year were those things purchased? Isn't that a 3 to 4 year lease?
One loan was 2010, I believe.
See, that's been 4 years.
We're finishing up the 3rd year of it, and like on one of them we got 2 years left, and one of them we got like a year and a half. Those are quarterly payments. We make quarterly payments on those.
Another thing, what was ever the final decision on the 2% cost of living?
I mean, at this moment it's in the budget starting July 2%.
You said you got a $2 million increase on electric bills this year.
Proposed for July.
Proposed plus a 1.8 on sewage.
On the source, just automatically in March, it's CPI plus 1, so I don't know what that'll be come March. But the one we had this past March was like 4.4%, which is like $2.12 a month on an average utility
per meal or for a light bill.
Per utility bill, yes, sir, each month. So that's $24, $25 a year.
Okay, and the other thing that y'all ran past right quick was the additional lineman for the electric light utilities and stuff.
Right, there's one proposed position there.
Position.
Yes, sir.
Are you one short, or you just adding one in to fulfill?
We're too short.
You too short.
Because I had one to leave the other day.
Got another one leaving next week.
But the question, I think what it has, we put a position in there for a reason.
We doing a.
That's what I think the question.
Yeah, you put in a position there for a reason.
We're doing a line proof form. We don't have one now.
I mean, I thought the guy that was in that place before now was always been there for that position.
No, we had never. We wanted to move him, but he had never been in there. We don't have that position.
So we created another position.
No, we've always had it. It was dropped out, and we're wanting to put it back.
No, that person there, that position won't matter anyway, because that person always feel that he's still that position, right? He still be the next in line.
He'll go to that.
He'll go to that one.
And then his position is replaced.
I thought it was in discussion before that he really wasn't prepared for that move yet, and so we're gonna create another. We're gonna move up and increase another position, which is higher than the one that he's already in. So you're gonna move him up to that position, and I don't see it. I'm just trying to ask you the question. If you said he's not ready to move to that position, why are you creating a position so that he can move to that position?
Well, we can have it if we need it.
I don't believe you said that he wasn't prepared, did you? You said he is,
At that time, but he wasn't at that time.
but he is now.
He is now.
Well, I thought the discussion was, when we did the budget, was they didn't feel like he was prepared at that time, but now he is.
We have the same number of employees as when I started here in 1960.
I know what you're saying about the same amount of people and everything, but this person, you said this person wasn't. A couple of months ago when the discussion was he was not ready or capable to be put in that position, but now we're gonna increase the amount that the pay, that position gonna pay, so he gonna be ready for that position since y'all done got to change your heart about him. But at the same time, my discussion with different people that he still ain't ready for that position.
Is this the person that, I guess, excuse me if I may talk, Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
that we discussed, Mr. City Manager? That he
yes, ma'am.
referring to?
And if I so may suggest this, we're having, I believe, a budget discussion. Now we are probably leaning into a personnel discussion, if I believe where we're headed with this.
But it affects the budget now because that position's
Right.
in the budget.
Right.
And if we want to talk budget stuff, I mean, that's, the
Right.
numbers are budgets.
Right.
whether we-
So to give you some historical perspective and also glean in on the personnel issue, when I first came here, we actually had a director, an assistant director, and a lineman crew supervisor, which is this position I think we're referring to.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
Subsequently, thereafter, that individual in the lineman crew position, and where's Judy at? I'm trying to go on past memory here, so hopefully I'm correct. Subsequently retired, and we actually did away or took that position out. So also too, when Donald Carver, who was the director at that time, retired thereafter, I believe he may have retired after that other general, I can't remember now, we did not feel, or we did away, or shall we say, the assistant director position. Okay?
Okay.
So, in essence, we have restructured that department in regards to two positions from what I can remember, okay? So, in regards to the potential person in question, yes, there was an investigation, there were issues and concerns in regards to that person's conduct, in regards to that person's ability as far as being a supervisor in that capacity. Obviously, that would have to be vetted out and determined in regards to if that person has the capacity to do that position in regards to that. So, obviously, I would lean to that director to give me some insight on if that's the case. Now, obviously, if this commission has concerns, obviously, we want to hear those concerns and have that discussion in regards to if that candidate has the opportunity to look at that position, if that being the case. So that's to answer the budgetary question, to give you some historic perspective, and to somewhat give you perspective on the personnel thing without going into in-depth in regards to any specifics about the stuff we discussed about.
So let me try to be clear. So are we actually creating another position or bringing a position back in that had been done away with now to try to accommodate? How does this affect the budget monetarily? Is this causing an increase in our budget in terms of that?
No, and from what I recall, we actually had two positions, as you recall, the assistant director position, which we have no longer, and that line crew supervisor position, which we did away with as well. So the only, from a financial standpoint, we're bringing back one of those two positions from the previous. As I've actually alluded to and talked to possibly one or two of y'all in regards to this, I definitely would want to have some discussions about the overall structure of the elect department. There's some suggestions and things that I have, but I want to be able to talk to y'all fully, specifically about that in regards to what new structure that we might have at the elect department. Now, since we're gonna go there, as far as have that discussion, I wanted to try to talk to y'all about the future of that department in regards to Lamar's tenure. I don't know how long he will be here. I know he's getting some indication that he may be retiring. So that discussion, plus how the structure of that department looks and feel in the future, needs to be had. But tonight, in regards to the budget, in regards to this position, it is a position that has been previously in play in regards to the city and the electric department. It is the desire from that department director, which I understand, to look at that position, because if those individuals, Lamar being one and potentially Rand being the other, leave, you really don't have any person of any leadership or supervisor capacity other than that over there, period. So, but that position is possibly a position to be considered in the future because of what it might mean to that department as far as managing the crews. Not managing the department, but managing the crews and making sure that the work orders get completed in regards to that. So,
Excuse me, the budget question is that that position was requested to be put back in the budget. Is that correct? Okay, which at a cost of around $50,000. I think that's what, if I remember this. That addresses Commissioner Pearson's question, because she asked what the monetary part of it was.
But it is in the budget.
It is in the current budget right now. That is correct. In the proposed budget, that is correct.
Right.
That's part of the proposal for the FY15 budget. That's right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yes.
and to maybe to further answer your question, pretty much, I mean, we can address that salary, that budgetary amount, because once again, previously, we've had the assistant director and that position in the previous time, so.
Okay.
Well,
So that, Commissioner, go ahead, I'm sorry.
this man that everybody keeps wanting to pound on, this man has been doing this job since Donald Carver retired. So the question seems to be, I don't know why that people are harping on that when this is probably the most efficient department this city's got. And you can raise your eyebrows if you want to. You know that you had never had any experience with electric or gas till you came to Douglas. Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
That's no.
He ain't the one questioning. I was the one that asked the question. I'm the one that's concerned, and I'm the one that's raising the concerns about it, because if you create this job in this department, and you as so much as said that this is the only person left to fulfill this position, and we have questions and concerns about this person, I'm concerned about that position being open and a direct line just said over and said, okay, here you are, a piece of cake, eat it.
I don't know why you would have in that department.
We can't get into it in this meeting here, because we're going to get into a personnel policy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That needs to be discussed.
And because it affect the budget, I'm thinking that somewhere we got to, it's in the proposed budget.
That's correct.
So 2% that you spoke up against is in the budget.
Yeah, and I ain't got to that yet.
All right.
But we're talking about this at the present time.
Well,
It's in the proposed, it's in the budget. So, I mean, if we approve the budget, it'll be in it. If we take it out, the commission takes it out, takes it out. But right now, it's in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is any other question about that particular position in the electric department, part of the budget? Is there any other questions about that?
I don't have a question, but I do agree with Commissioner Hutchinson. I have a concern about that as well with discussions we've had in the past. So I would prefer that this mayor commission reach some type of resolution before we move forward on voting on this budget, before we vote on it. So
Well, yeah, there was some concerns about this particular person from the start about this position, and all of a sudden he can walk into it. I'm kind of concerned about that as well.
Right.
So,
Well, like I said, right now, we're not prepared to discuss the personnel part of it.
yeah.
I mean, we're just discussing the budget and where we want to move forward. If we put it in the budget, we can discuss the personnel part, or we can take it out of the budget if the votes are there to take it out. That's up to the commission to do that. But right now, we're not going to discuss the personnel part of it.